Hi, my name is Carla Campos. I'm the founder of Social Tech Live, and I'm here with Nate Mendenhall, who is a amazing social media person and friend of mine. Not just a social media person, but he's awesome. How are you, Nate?
I'm great. Doing really well. I've got very little to complain about.
So last year, Nate did a presentation for the conference we had last year called Florida Social Con, and he was Super Nate. So did you want to tell the viewers a little bit about Super Nate and how much?
So Super Nate kind of came out because sometimes you go to these presentations and you get that soft sales pitch where people are coming from, what agency they're from, and I kind of figured it's more fun to show people who you are opposed to who you think they want to see. So I decided to throw my head on Superman's body, and it went over okay. But I'm Nate Mendenhall. I'm the director of social strategy at that agency in West Palm Beach. We are an inbound marketing agency, kind of specializing in all around inbound marketing, from proper on-site SEO to content distribution, social strategy, top level content strategy, and just really making sure that we're walking clients through the process that their ideal buyer will be going through. So that's just kind of round me out as a person.
No, and it's great because sometimes people just talk about, hey, this company only needs social media, but they don't kind of put the whole digital picture together. They don't talk about the SEO. They don't talk about the content.
That's almost, it's like a really refreshing thing for you to say, because a lot of times when you talk to clients, I'm sure you have the same experience when you're consulting and you have your own clients. It's like they want to do one piece of the puzzle because it seems bright and shiny, but they don't realize that you need everything to really surround that consumer and bring them in for your product or service. So it's not just social, it's not just SEO. I mean, what's good of having great content on your blog without having a distribution strategy through social? And what good is content on your blog if you're not optimizing it for search? And so it's really important to have a full inbound strategy to really push things forward. And that's kind of where my talk comes from. Is I think that we, as both marketers and then consumers, really obsess of these vanity metrics and stuff that sounds great, but it's really not driving the value of social media specifically. And I think that that's why I was particularly interested in this talk, is because just from bumping my head a few times with a few clients and seeing what's important to them, I kind of wanted to share that story about how to really, demonstrate the value to not only your clients, but then let's say your stakeholders in your own company, the C-suite, the people that are signing your checks. Like, how do you show you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and really using the social analytics to tell the story of the value of your day-to-day. So I kind of went off on a tangent there. I'm sorry, I was just going everywhere.
No, that's really good that you're into it, because, I mean, you really sound like you know what you're talking about. And I know you do know what you're talking about because, we've worked together in the past. We've done panels together where we spoke about Facebook ads and, just ads in general, metrics. And that's why I'm excited that you're speaking at the conference, because, you know what matters when it comes to metrics. And sometimes, we work with different PR agencies or people who may not understand what the important metrics are.
Mm-hmm.
And they just look at the numbers, the followers. They don't. So what are your thoughts on just judging someone on their follower count?
So I think that it's something to track, right? I think it's not a metric that should define the success of your overall approach. For instance, especially with Facebook, organic growth and organic reach has taken a downturn. With the right strategy and the right brand, you can counteract that. You can get a lot of really good traction. With that said, through your content strategy, you can almost try to, in the long term, attract the right customers to like or follow your, like your page, follow your accounts. But if you're only tracking that metric, you're not paying attention to the overall activity that your content is generating. So while I think it's something that's nice to keep track of, you want to make sure that you're growing constantly. If you see any downturns, any attribution of your social following, that's a sign something's wrong. You need to run into your run to your client and say, we got 3,000 followers. And they're going to say, great, do we make any money? And you're going to say, we got 3,000 followers. So I think it's one of those things to keep on your dashboard and maybe use it as like a pulse check to see if you're growing and you're gaining interest. but I don't think it's a metric that really demonstrates that bottom line results of your, overall social strategy.
And you work with a lot of businesses, so business people want to hear conversion. Like what social media?
It's really interesting. So I've worked, with small agencies and small brands. I've worked with, your mom and pop sub shop down the street, all the way up to, the Home Depot, NYPD, Northrop Grumman, and everybody wants to know about their follower count. Why? Because it's been drilled into our heads that it matters. And so I think it's like one of those things where almost when you say hi to someone, you go, hey, how you doing? You don't care how they're doing. You just say it. So like when you're measuring social media, we've got 100,000 followers, right? But those can be purchased. They don't mean anything. I would rather have my client have 10,000 followers that are super engaged, that are visiting the website, that are spending time on the website, that are entering the remarketing funnel, than a client that has 100,000 followers of people that just could care less. And that's the big struggle, I think, with the newness of social media, is we have a ton of data to use and we have a lot of analytics to tell a really great story. But a lot of us focus on these vanity metrics that don't close that circle, right? Like when you look at SEO and PPC, they have all of this data to say, direct conversion, assisted conversion, last touch attribution. With social, you really only have what the platforms give you, and then a little bit what Google Analytics tells you. And by my assumption, a lot of social marketers aren't even Google Analytics certified. The smart ones, like you, are, and you understand Google Analytics, but a lot of people are not. And so it's, kind of just circling Tarantino backwards into the follower count thing. There's just so much more out there when it comes to social analytics. And I really want to provide value and tell people the good news that you can tell a complete story from on-site social analytics. Include your follower count, include your like count, talk about your engagement, your reach, your impressions, but then talk about like your time on site, your website traffic and conversions, and really tell that complete story. I'm going to be honest, I just blacked out and started getting really excited and talked about everything that I wanted. Like it was in my head. So I don't know what question we're on, but so if you're going to come to the presentation, it's really high energy and it's a lot of that. So please come and just be ready, I guess.
Nate's really good. Last year, everybody, I think he was like one of the top, if he wasn't the top of persons that was being mentioned on Twitter, because his content is so good all the time. And you write for some of the social media big websites like Social Media Today, I believe. I've seen you.
I'm a contributor to Social Media Today, the Social Media Examiner. I love blogging. I think it's a really great way to kind of spread your own personal brand and learn from others. And thanks to great folks like you, I've been blessed with the opportunity to do a lot of presentations and public speaking. I've been able to present in China, and there's a possible opportunity coming soon, and hopefully Puerto Rico. And so things are happening, and I'm really excited about it. So I have to attribute everything to just a real nice community, the Miami social community. And Carla, you're a leader in the community, and I really have to just like take my hat off to just the people that are involved and how everybody supports one another. So that has nothing to do with social analytics, but you are awesome.
Oh my! Now you have me blushing over here. You're awesome too.
Yeah, right?
And I mean that even without you telling me first. I mean it.
Yeah. Thank you.
I mean, you're always supportive. You're always speaking, and you're always really like helpful in the community and just sharing data and knowledge. And it's like amazing, So.
Yeah, no, much appreciated. I think that anybody watching this that may come to social tech. I think you really have to come with an open mind and almost have this childlike energy and wonder about yourself. Because even people that have been in the industry for a very long time, we get jaded and we think we know things. But when you kind of let yourself be curious, it really opens your mind up to different possibilities. And recently, I've gone through some transitions professionally, and I found a home back with an agency I started with earlier. And I got to tell you, I've just been like energized again because I'm being allowed to look at things with a sense of wonder and like, let's try this. Well, what does the data say about that? And really piecing it together. And I would really encourage people coming to the event to check your ego at the door. I mean, myself included, like everybody, just check your ego and just say, what can I learn today? What can I share today? And really just come ready to just process and jump in. And I think it's going to be an awesome event. Last year was amazing. I think I had some of the most, I lost track of time with the conversations I was having with people because they were just so organic and energetic, and people were excited at talking about their own projects and their problems and their input. It was just, it's incredible. So like, if you're watching this and you're like, oh, maybe I can go, maybe I won't go, please come, give me a high five. And then let's talk about social media and social analytics. But the high five comes first, like the high five's first.
Yeah, you got to be social first before Nate gives you any knowledge. That's
right, exactly.
That's the way he works. He's friendly Nate. He's friendly Nate.
Yeah, right.
Is your talk tailored to a specific audience, or is it for marketers? Is it for just people starting out? Is it for everyone?
Yeah, so what I try to do, my personal style is I really want to do things that are valuable for anybody that may attend. So what I try to do for my presentation is mix in everything from people that may be just tiptoeing in the pool and learning, but then I also want to provide value for people that are experienced and even people that may be a little bit more advanced. So I really try to run the gamut of all this information that would apply to everybody. So let's say you're advanced, you've been in the industry a couple of years, it may be a good refresher for you. You know, maybe it's nothing new, but maybe it's a different spin on it. If you're new, I definitely think the talk, you'll find value in it. I mean, if you're curious about how to crack the code, prove value, win that new client, really show people why they should go with your company or your agency, I can definitely help you with that. If you're someone that is experienced, you're seasoned, and you understand things, but maybe you're trying to just put the playbook together, I could definitely help you with that. If you're a little bit more advanced and you can get around, I want to talk to you. I want to hear what your opinion is. And what I try to do at my talks is I do spend a little bit of time. I was like, hey, let's talk, let's ask some questions. And I really don't mean in a typical presentation mode with any questions. I want to know what people have to say. And I want to hear your opinions, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. And so in short, because I'm obviously really long-winded, please come to the presentation. It's going to have something for everyone. I will give you a little spoiler alert. I'm trying to tailor it to maybe people that might appreciate a certain historical martial arts figure who had a lot of really good quotes that apply to social marketing, Bruce Lee. So yeah, we try to have a lot of fun at the presentations. I really don't take myself too seriously. I like to have fun and laugh through this learning process. So, you know, whether it's your first day or you've been in the industry 5 years, I think you definitely will find value from the presentation.
Yep. And social media is a big industry. And I think sometimes, you know, there's a lot of positions, I want to say, that maybe are not dealing with data, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe they're just content related, or they're, you know, doing other things that are not data related. So this is a great opportunity to, maybe if you're in social media, but you're not in the data and analytics side, to learn something to add value.
You know, that's a really great point. And just a personal anecdote, I became recently really interested in SEO. I know enough about SEO these days to get myself like in trouble with someone that knows a lot about SEO. But the point is doing social media and content and really learning that there's always something more to learn about data and analytics, right? So if I know my content's getting likes, comments, and shares, and it's generating website clicks, and it stops there, I'm not telling the whole story, right? I need to know what those people did on the website coming from my content. So learning a little bit about SEO, it really like opened up a whole other realm of this analytics story to what you said, is that some people may be in a role of content production, right? They may not think analytics applies to them, but it does, because you're where it starts. I think it's something like, and this may be completely wrong, but I think it's semi-right, like 80 to 90% of consumers that try a new product hear about it first from social media. Then they go through the buyer's process of researching it, price comparison, going back and forth, reading reviews, and then they convert. So content creators are the start of that funnel. They're the awareness phase. And so analytics really matters to you, but it's only at a certain point in doing content creation that you realize that. And that's not a bad thing. Everybody has a different maturation curve in their career and being a marketer. And that's great. It's natural. It's kind of like going through puberty, right? Everybody does it at a certain point, just different times. So whether you do content creation or you do straight up data reporting, everybody needs to be familiar with social analytics. And so that's, again, just tying back to, you know, when you had the call for speakers, and I was thinking, I think I submitted like 4 or 5 different topics because I got really excited. But the data analytics portion was just something that I think is a great thing to tie back to, because so much happens in social media. It changes so fast. There's all these bright, shiny objects that we need to get this point of origin of like, okay, how are we making money? How are we helping our business? Why are we here in the first place? That's the question. If you wake up in the morning and you're creating a content calendar and you're like, well, why am I doing this? Stop. Look at your data. Figure out why you're doing what you're doing. Define your goals, that kind of thing. And so, yeah, I'm just really excited. I hope it comes through that I'm really excited. Like, I can't wait to finalize the presentation, put together. I think there's a lot of value there. And I think that I hope at least one person goes, thinks to themselves that, hey, I didn't realize how important data and analytics is to my role. And if that happens, just one person, then I win. I'm going to Running Man out of there. It's going to be awesome.
You're gonna be dancing at your presentation?
Never know. So last year, I don't know if you remember, anybody watching this remembers, but I got this, excitement. I got this bug in me, and I put 90s pop Spotify on my iPhone and put it over the loudspeaker as like intro music. So if I have the opportunity, you will hear the Backstreet Boys before the presentation. I don't know, just to set the tone, guys. I think I'm damn good at what I do, but I think that it's really important to enjoy what you do. And if you don't, social media is fun. So if you're not working in social and you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. So again, back to the presentation, I'm really going to, put a lot of sweat in the presentation to prove value, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
Good. And then I work with a lot of women, more in business sort of counseling, and I like what you're doing with the analytics, because sometimes their main question is like, how do we make money from social? Mm-hmm. So, and they're trying to either start their own social business or something in business, and the first thing they ask is about the money, and the analytics are so important. So mm-hmm. Do you have any message for these ladies today that I could relay back to them?
Yeah, I would say if conversions are making money is your primary goal, great. You're starting from a really good place, but there's an asterisk there. Before that money is going to come in and before you're going to create those conversions, you kind of have to take a step back and think about the relationships. Now, that said, am I someone that believes in this whole every brand is going to have a one-to-one relationship with everybody that leaves a comment? Realistically, it's not going to happen. I challenge anybody to name someone by first and last name that is connected to their Facebook page that they interact with and talk about relationships. That's not the relationships we're talking about. What we're talking about is creating a place that people are comfortable, they're connected to, they identify with, and that they are willing to, when they're ready to convert, come there as a point of entry. So for these women, if they're saying, all right, listen, I need to get this off the ground, I need to start, I encourage you to know where your end game is, which is the conversion to make money. But then think about where your start game is. Where does that begin? Who's your ideal buyer? Who's your ideal persona? What do they look like? What do they do? Where do they interact? What channels are they spending time on? So even if this isn't your data, do some research. Get a data-driven or data-inspired, there's a difference, we'll talk about that in the presentation, point of origin. From there, move forward. What's working for you? What's not working for you? Start cutting the fat. The content that's working for you, generating website clicks, keep doing it. So on and so forth. When you see that very first conversion, pay attention to where it came from. Try to mimic that. So on and so forth. I'm not going to give away all my secret sauce right now, but what I will say is start from a place of a data-driven strategy. And then from there, just know where you want to go. So if you listen to that right now and you're like, well, that's kind of crappy. Like, he didn't really tell me anything. Yeah, I gave you a bunch of buzzwords because I want you to come to my presentation. So come to my presentation and I'll fill in the middle parts.
And his presentations are awesome. Really, you want to be there because he'll fill in the blanks with like tons of information.
Oh, it's gonna be like blank, fill in. No, I don't know.
You better bring a recorder to like take super notes because Nate really does deliver.
And I will say this, and I'll say this at the presentation too. I sincerely appreciate every minute of attention. This sounds vain, but every minute of attention someone chooses to give me when I speak. So if you do come to the presentation, if you're shy, if you're dissatisfied, if you don't take away any kind of value from my presentation, please come talk to me. or send me a tweet. Just get in contact, because all we have in this life is time and energy. And if you're giving it to me in my presentation, I want you to take away some value. So I just let that be known, since this will live on forever on the interwebs, that please come check out what I have to say. And if I don't at least teach you one minute thing, let's talk.
And how can people reach you on Twitter? And what kind of content do you share on Twitter that is valuable?
So I'm at NCM Social. So just my initials. I'm going to tell you my middle name. Nobody really knows this. It's N as in Nate, C as in Charles, and then last name is Mendenhall. So NCM Social. I'm really responsive. If you send me a tweet, I'd love to go back and forth. In general, the kind of content I share is really, I'd say moderate level social strategy, data analytics, content strategy, how to kind of get it kickstarted and kind of keep the party going and really convert. Recently, I just shared a really nice stat that came out from Facebook for a new ad unit they have called Facebook Canvas. Turns out that 31 seconds on average are spent with this ad unit. It's a long time. So that's the kind of content I share. It's just why are people spending so much time with this kind of ad unit? And then what does that mean for your business? So if that kind of stuff piques your interest, definitely do follow me on Twitter. Please say hello when you follow. I like to go back and forth. And then, let's be eBuds. eBuds? I don't know. That's
eBuds. It works. I know what you mean.
Yeah, you get it.
I'll hear eBud.
Yeah, for sure. E-biffle or e-biffles. It's fine.
You got some crazy words going on. The buzzwords with Nate. You should do that.
There you go.
We'll change his presentation. Forget data. It's just buzzwords with Nate.
There you go. Just Nate's going to say crazy things now.
Internet buzzwords that people are like, oh, that is kind of cool. And it makes sense.
That would be kind of an interesting presentation for sure.
Yeah, it would be, because I'm not really good with the buzzwords.
I don't use any cool slang. Recently, I've been trying to bring rad back. Like rad, that's rad, but nobody seems to be following me, so people think I hit my head or something. Like, why does he keep saying rad? I was we were messaging, and I got an email about, the campaign went live and it's great, and I was like, okay, rad, thanks, and I was like, oh, I sent that.
He said rad. You know what word? It's like the fleek word.
Yeah, is that on fleek? I don't know.
I'm not good at that word. I was like, what does this mean, right?
I'm still trying to make fetch work. Isn't that something isn't that something from me?
I never even heard fetch.
There we go. We got it. I don't know. It's from a movie called Mean Girls, and they're like, "You're never gonna make fetch happen." And then I don't know. One of the girls is trying to bring a word. I don't know.
Do they have puppies? Like,
right? Seriously.
I don't know. I'm really serious. I have no idea what the heck.
No, go watch Mean Girls. I'm ashamed that I've watched it, but go watch Mean Girls, and we'll tweet about it.
Did you know that they have a plugin for Netflix where you can watch with your friends who are not with you?
Well, let's watch something. What are we doing?
We're gonna watch Mean Girls.
Yeah, right.
Why are Nate and Carla watching Mean Girls? Because we gotta get with the language.
The program. We gotta make fetch happen.
We gotta do this buzzwords thing.
There you go. Awesome.
All right. Well, it was great talking to you. I mean, I don't want to take away your time.
Yeah, pleasure is all mine. Again, guys, even if you don't come to my presentation, you should. Please come to the event. It's amazing. You get some really talented speakers. David Verhano is one of my favorite people on the planet, and he's speaking there. And there's just a lot of really, really talented people that are going to be there. Carla's going to be there. She's among my top favorite people. Just it's incredible, guys. And if you're young, you're fresh out of college, you're trying to get in the industry and make your self known and learn, it's really a great place to meet some really not only are they influencers and damn good marketers, but they're just awesome people. So come on out.
I couldn't have put it better myself. What Nate said.
Yeah.
So thank you guys. Check out socialtechlive.com. We're everywhere on social media at Social Tech Live. So see you next time. Bye. Hope to see you at the event.
Yeah, for sure. Bye.
Well, I know I'm going to see you. Unless something happens. But no. All right. Bye.
Bye.